So there's a part of the Christmas story in Luke chapter 2 where angels come and visit some shepherds who are just looking after their sheep, and they get freaked out by this big group of angels, understandably. But the angels say, do not be afraid. We've got great news. And the great news is that your Saviour has been born. He's in Bethlehem. You can go and visit him. You'll find him because he's wrapped in cloths and he's in a feeding box. So the shepherds go, okay, well, let's go and find the baby. So they do. They find Joseph and Mary and the baby in a feeding box, just as the angels had said. And they tell everyone about the story, about the angels, and about them saying, do not be afraid. And everyone is amazed by the shepherd's story. And then they go back to their sheep with boldness and a joy of what's just happened. And you can read that in Luke chapter 2, verse 8 to 20. So now every Christmas I bore people by the time that I met the descendants of the shepherds off of Christmas. See, I was blessed enough to go to Israel, visiting churches and Christians who had been persecuted for their faith. And my travels took me to Bethlehem, to a church called the Church of the Shepherd's Fields. And it's called that because it's built on the space where there were once fields and shepherds tended their sheep. Bethlehem is a lot bigger now, and once where there were just fields is now shops and houses and this church. So the young people that I met there were fearless, but they could trace their lineage back thousands of years to those who tended the sheep all those years ago. And what struck me about them is that they were absolutely fearless. Even though there was danger of violence and persecution all around them, even though they had suffered greatly because of their faith, they were determined to stay in the town, sharing the message of Jesus that they had in their hearts. See, the shepherds in the passage went and told everyone about what they'd just seen. And it seems like the descendants of the shepherds are doing the same thing. They still have the same joy in their hearts because of Jesus. So how can we then be inspired by the shepherd story? Well, I was struck by the fearlessness of their descendants and the determination to share joy and love and the true message of Christmas. So today, whatever situation you're in, firstly know, as the angel said to the shepherds, that do not be afraid because God is with you. And the challenge may be for you to boldly tell of the message of Jesus as the shepherds did all those years ago.